Friends, welcome to Aishusdiy. This is a designing process, and I have something in mind, but I want to design it with these beads. These are semi-precious beads. These are turquoise matte. For some reason, matte is my to-go right now. I don't know why, but I just finished this necklace, which is an Amazonite matte, and then I'm just attempting to make a bracelet out of this. And this is from Michaels. As you can see, it's a bead gallery, 4-strand black tag, and this one is matte turquoise dyed howlite. Okay, this is what it is. It is a stone. I can feel the stone in my hand. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut the chips and the bigger round bead. These two are the stands I have in my mind to use it, and I am going to use it as a knotted bracelet, not as a regular bracelet. Okay, this is my cord that I'm using. It's 0.5 it says, and this cord I bought it from Amazon for about $10 and some change. And this is, even though it says 0.5, it is quite a lot thinner than the regular ones. And also, since this is a beaded bracelet, but it's going to be a knotted one, and it's going to have a sliding clasp just like this right here. I want to put a sliding clasp because I want this to be stiff on the wrist, and it's going to be a 2-strand is what I'm thinking. But depending upon the beads, I don't have any more of these strands of the matte turquoise howlite chips, so I'm going to work with this. So first I'm going to separate. First I thought I will design a little bit and then I will come and do a video, but then I thought the designing process is also important, as does the work, right? So somebody was telling if they could watch me design stuff, so I really appreciate the comments. I'm going to go ahead with it. So these ones look a little bit bigger and the rest is about medium size. So now we have those. I just want to make this in pairs, the bigger ones in pairs, right? Let me see. Okay, there we go. We have 6 pairs of the bigger ones. So I'm just going to start. As I said, I don't know how much cord I'm gonna use, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thread all the beads first, and then I will start doing the knotting, is what my thought process is. So first I will start with a smaller bead. If your thread is a little bit hard to get through, all you need to do is, this thread can be burned like Chinese knotting cord, so you can burn this thread. That's what is really awesome about this thread. So let me just taper this down a bit so that it can easily go inside my beads. There we go. 2, 3, and then a bigger bead. It doesn't really look much of a difference, but that's okay. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so after this 7 beads, I'm gonna add one of the bigger bead, which is the 8 millimeter. then again 1, 2, so I'm thinking I'll just add 2 beads and then 1 big bead and then 2 small beads, which is 5. I can actually cut this. This is the last one, right? So we can cut it and adjust it accordingly. So 1 more of the small bead. So 5 chip beads in between the in between each 8mm. Okay, because I want to have enough chip beads for 2 strands, that's why I'm doing this. So now add a bigger turquoise, then again 2, this is almost big, then 1 8mm. Five chip beads and an 8mm. So I also want to measure the length of the bracelet. We are going to knot in between these beads, so there is going to be more space coming, so we need less amount of beads. I'll just put 1 more of this chip beads and then I'll stop. 3, 5. So I'm gonna take my ruler, then I'm gonna measure this. See, this is almost 5 3/4 inches, so that's more than enough. We are going to anyways take 2, so we can count it like 5.5. That's more than enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave a tail. The tail, I want it to be about, say, 4 inches, no, 3.5 inches, because we don't want a long thing, right? So say 3 inches should be good enough. Exactly 3 inches. Okay, I'm gonna make a knot, overhand knot, and I use my bead knotting tool. You can also use a bead awl for this purpose. So I'm just going to land the knot where it wants to be. Just a little bit more is okay, but not less. Tighten that knot and let's see. Yeah, I have a little bit more, which is good. I'm sorry. I have a little bit more, which is good. So that's that. And now we shall start knotting between the beads. So here we go. And then 1 knot. 1 bead and then a knot. So make it all the way here. See, I actually strung the beads first, as I can work with the spool and I don't want to cut before I know how much exactly I need. And then I take the next, see, there won't be much space between those because this thread is thin and then it's easy to knot. Here we go. I'm gonna knot again, bring this back in here, and there we go. Our knot is here. Put the bead all, go all the way down and pull it. Now keep the cord on top of this bead thing and then push this lever up so that it delivers the knot where we want the knot to be, right next to the bead. And then move the next one, make a next, put these beads inside the loop, bring it down. You have a loop here, and then put the bead all or the pointed needle part inside. You can also make this loop smaller. Inside that, pull it all the way. If you pull this, the knot will go automatically right next to the bead. And then put this thread on top of this V and deliver this knot right there. Then move it. The same thing again and again until you reach the end. A knot, there we go. And then now, so I am forced to actually cut this cord because I want to do 2 strands. I want both the strands to go through this 8mm. That's my plan. And what I'm gonna do here is I am going to cut my cord. I'm gonna cut a little bit extra, say from where we knotted, 12, 24 plus 28 inches. Again, one more measure of that, 12. Oh, there is a knot here. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut here and save this cord for some other project because we don't want a knot in between our project, right? So here we go, 12 and 12, 24 plus 4, 28 inches. 28 plus 3, right? Okay, there we go. Because we had 3 inches and then we put a knot, we measure from there. Okay, now again what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take these 2 cords, take a bigger bead, put this end inside the 8mm, just like so. We have a knot here, so I need to burn this end as well so that I can thread in all the beads here. Okay, now I want to go through this 8mm once again, Let's see if I can make it. We did it. Look at that, what I did. I did it in the opposite direction, you guys. Fantastic. This time I did it properly. See this? I should have done this before starting anything, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make an overhand knot. Want these both the threads to be on the same, and then 2 cords together, make an overhand knot. But before making the knot, make sure you bring your bead all right there. Thank goodness we added a 0.5 inch to the 3-inch mark. It's always good to add more. There we go. So now there is a knot here. Make sure it's tight. It's a knot here. Then I'm going to knot here and continue doing all of these things. So I have already threaded this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a slip knot here. How do you make a slip knot? Bring it around your fingers, make a loop. The tail end is up on top in the X. Bring it around here, and then pull this through. That's a slip knot. When you do untie this, it will come off like that. So there we go. Make a loop, bring the under loop, put both of your fingers inside the loop and pull a small loop out of that. That's a sliding knot. This knot will make sure your beads doesn't come off. Then I'm gonna thread this cord too, burn the ends and start threading this, and then I'll come back after I am done threading it. Here we go. So this one side of the cord, we have 5 beads here. I thread all the 5 beads. Now it's time for knotting. The other side of the cord, we have all the things threaded already, but we haven't knotted. We just knotted only the first 5. Sorry, I bumped the camera. So we knotted only the first 5. We did not the rest. The rest is not knotted. And the second cord, I added 5 cords, and then I'm just going to add this here. See, I don't want a lot of pressure, but I just want this to come like this, as you guys can see. Right, first I'm going to knot. That will give me some space. You can also add 1 bead at a time so that you don't have to go through the loop with all the beads in the place. But for me, this is easier. Make the knot go all the way right next to the 8mm, and then deliver the knot right there. Then move the next chip bead and then make a knot. grab all of these into the loop and out. Then I bring all the way down. So now you're seeing what I'm getting at, right? I hope you are. So I shall do a sliding knot here as well. Painter's tape will also help. Let me see if I can deal with it without doing a sliding knot. Bring your knotting tool all the way here. Put this on top. You don't have to be very particular with this project. Chips has an uneven shape, so it's not like it can be done very rigidly or so. So you can leave just a tad bit of space that would actually help your design, right? There is a little bit of gap. I will just fix this and come back. So taking this knot off of this cord is very difficult, so I made a little bit bulkier knot. That's okay for me. That bothers you, you should take off the knot and then redo it. So I'm fine with it. So I move the next chip bead and put this all inside. Deliver the knot right there. We still have 2 more chips to go for this unit, just before the 8mm bead. One more. Then add a knot like that. There we go. Put it inside this and deliver the knot where it wants to be. So now we have these 2 parts actually knotted, right? So now I need to put this cord. What you can do as an easy measure is tie these cords together and make a right over left knot, just like so. And then left over right. So this is a unit. Now what you are going to do is gonna take this cord and put it through this 8mm. Hold it like this and push the cord through. It will come up the other end. As I said, this cord is very thin. It says 0.5mm, but I don't think so. It's 0.5mm. Now you have this unit. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this one, knot all these 5 things here and add 5 here and then come back. I did knot with 5 chip beads. I put knot in between every chip bead, and now I push the 8mm. I take these 2 cords and knot right over left, and left over right. Just a simple knot. Then take my 8mm, move it to my work, take the second cord, and if you hold it like that, that will push down the cord for you, and you will have enough space to put the next second cord through. There we go. And push all of this, and then you can separate it and start knotting. And then add 5 chip beads, and then continue this for some length, as long as I can, and I'll come back. Hi friends, welcome back. I have only this much of the chip beads left. I don't have any more. I should have figured this out before, but it is too late for me. See, I have 5 here and I have only 1 to go on the other side. So I'm going to stop my bracelet right there and finish it off, and then probably I'll give it to my daughter. So here is the last bead. What I want to do is take these 2 cords and right over left, go underneath 1 knot, then left over right, go through it 1 more time, and a knot. Now bring back this 8mm down, hold it like this tight, take the second cord and put it through it. There we go. Now move everything down there, and after this I'm just going to do an overhand knot. I have a lot of cord left, and if I'm doing a 6.5 inch wrist size bracelet, I would need more knots and more cord. The cord would be much more useful. So see, there is a little bit of a gap, so I'm just going to go ahead and make 1 more knot on top of that. There we go. So there we go. So here is it. So I just need to make the sliding knot and then cut these off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this cord at the same length as the other one. So I have this much left. Let me just measure this. So this is 12 plus, say, 13 inches. 13 inches left. So we took 28 plus 3, which is 31. So 13 inches less would be, why am I not able to do my math? Okay, 31 minus 13 will be 18 inches. So 18 inches would do a 5.5. I mean, this is not a whole bracelet, right? So this one is about, say, 5.5 inches. And then if I put it right there, Even if I add a big knot, that would not be enough. So you need at least that much, 10 more inches more. So take about 28 inches or so. That should be good. So now we will do the sliding knot for this bracelet. So for that, I'm keeping all 4 cords together like this and taking one piece which I have left over with I'm checking. I have several. Okay, I have left over with that, so I'm just going to take that, go underneath, okay, right over left. So it's better to do this on the table or in your macrame board, which is very easy to do. But first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this cord and add a turquoise chip and make a knot. I'm going to make the knot as close to the end as possible because we don't have enough cord. This side I have enough. I was having enough that side, but this side I was not having enough. So, oops, I didn't put the cord here. Just take this knot off and come back off, and then add the bead and then tie an overhand knot closest to the edge as possible. Okay, fine. Those two are of the same length, almost. Do the same here, but we need to melt these ends. Both became stiff. Let's see if it goes through. It became bulky. There we go. It needs to thread like this, otherwise you will still feel the resistance for the bead to go inside. I'm just checking the length of the other side. We don't want to make it any longer than that. So yes, we can put it here. Before tightening it up, just make sure these all align. Bring this knot down, right there. That should be good. And then take the other one, add another bead. Not this one is good. The small one is also good. There we go. Before tightening the knot, make sure that the knot aligns with the other one. Okay. That's about right. Now we'll do the sliding knot. Take a small piece, 10 inches or so, like 8 inches or so is good enough. Right over left, I'm doing my Q's and P's. It's square knot, square macrame knot. Everybody knows. I have a separate video on my channel for just macrame knots. If you want to go ahead and watch, you can. Doing my P's. I'll move my mat and get it in the table. There we go. This feels like very nice and tight, this cord. I really like this cord a lot. I feel it's a little bit expensive than the Chinese knotting cord, but it is nice and strong in my opinion. But don't make it too tight, because we still want the cords to nicely slide in between those things. The P's and Q's, I'm doing the square knot. A couple of knots is good enough. You don't have to do a lot more. Couple of knots is really good enough. That's about okay for me. Just gonna check whether these work or not. It works nicely. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to make sure I come in the back, take these two ends and make an overhand knot, make one more, right over left and left over right. Okay, and then snip this off. Don't snip it off very close. We still need a short tail to burn the ends, right? There we go. Nice and burnt. Do the same to this end too. Make sure your hand doesn't come. Now it's secure there. And that's at the back, so Our bracelet is ready. It's a sliding bracelet, so it's adjustable to comfortable length. There we go. I can still wear it. Only problem is oh, what happened is one of my chip bead came out because the hole wasn't big enough to come through. I need to fix those. Now it's not going inside. Can you believe that? There we go. And now I have to make one more knot and then cut that and burn that end too, which I didn't mention it earlier. Make it on top, snip it off. Do the same to the other ends as well. That just got burnt. Be careful, you guys. There we go. It's all said and done. Let me just try this. There we go. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos almost every day. It comes around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.